Hey, so this week we're going to be going over the treble clef and the treble clef staff. So figuring out all the note names. I know some of us have done this before, but we're going to be focusing it on this week and next week. All right, so we have two types of clefs that we mainly work in with music, and knowing those clefs help us read music, which makes us music literate. All right, so the first one that we're covering is the treble clef. All right, the treble clef is also known as the G clef, and we'll go over that in a moment. It's pretty much the swirl looks like this. That's the one that you see all the time where you're like, oh my gosh, music. It is the treble clef. All right, then we have the bass clef, which looks like a little frowny face if you tilt your head sideways. This is also known as the clef. We'll go to that sometime in the future. All right, so looking at the treble clef, we have 5 lines to every staff. Every staff has 5 lines, and that is usually a norm. Okay, so we always count from the bottom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in between those lines, we have a space 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we always start counting from the bottom and move up. We count our lines from the bottom, move up, count our spaces from the bottom and move up. For the first exercise we're going to be doing, we're going to be only focused on the spaces. Note that when you move from a line to a space, right? Because this is something that's telling us a note, but then so is this space. We're moving upwards in alphabetical order, except we're going to be using our musical alphabet. Remember, our musical alphabet stops at G. So it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And after G, we repeat back because there are only 12 different sounds that we have in music, because after that, the sounds replicate just at a higher frequency. So we give it the same name because it's essentially the same but different. We'll go over that later. So we're starting at the bottom. We have E. Then the next one we have F, right? Because the next space is F because it's going alphabetical. And then next, you can assume the next line is going to be G, right? Now, remember when I said that the treble clef is also called the G clef? Well, there's a very specific reason for that. So right here, this is our G. The second line, right, 1, 2 of our treble staff is G, because our treble staff is actually telling us like, hey, right here, this line is going to be G. See how our swirl and then the line that goes through it kind of makes like a little target that says, hey, look right here. That is because the treble clef, like essentially you can move it somewhere else and it'll tell you where G is differently, and then all the note names change. But that's like advanced stuff that we'll cover like really like in the future, like the way future. All right. So we have the G that is told by the G clef, aka the treble clef. All right. And then from that, we know the next space is going to be A, then B, C, D, E, F, so on and so forth. So, right, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Oh, there we go. All right. So it goes in alphabetical order, musical alphabetical order, starting with our A and ending at G. And then after G, we go back to A. All right. So line space relationship. Now with the treble staff, um, it's kind of nice because there are different ways to remember our lines and spaces.